Well, tonight we're hearing from a former immigration judge for the first time. She shares her experience when deciding who gets deported.
Although it's a complex process, she says there are steps people can take to have a better outcome in their case. ABC 10's Roxanne Elias has the details.
Immigration court system and being in removal proceedings is something that is very slow going, and it has many, many steps.
Victoria Argumedo is a former immigration judge who now owns the Argumedo Garzon Law Group, an immigration law firm. She became a judge in San Francisco back in 2016 when President Donald Trump first took office. This was after she worked as an immigration attorney for 15 years.
I was in charge of a detained docket, which meant that everybody that would appear before me was detained by ICE. There were only at the time 2 detention judges or detained judges, and the rest of the court, which I believe were like maybe almost 20 other judges, were all non-detained.
She says an immigration court generally hears the cases of people who are in deportation proceedings. An example of a non-detained case would be a mother and her child who are waiting to make a defense against removal. But most of the individuals who would appear before Argumedo are those who had a criminal history. Despite that, her advice is no one should miss their court date.
Under the immigration law, if somebody is scheduled to go to court and they fail to appear, the immigration judge has the right to order them removed in their absence.
She calls the process deciding if they can stay in the U.S. as something very complex.
If people are serving multi-year sentences, either in state prison or in federal prison, the chances of them being able to remain if they're a non-citizen are fairly low.
And her biggest takeaway from serving as an immigration judge is that legal representation can make a huge difference in someone's case.
It made such a huge difference to have an attorney representing them. A good one, really.
And the earlier you can retain one, the better. Roxanne Elias, ABC 10.
Roxanne, thank you. Now, we're told if you can't afford an attorney, then you should go with a nonprofit agency that does immigration work. This way, they can evaluate your case.